So let's get these windows open whilst the Mini GP riders get ready for their race.
Indeed, so this is going to be race 1 for the Mini GPs. After this, we'll have the stock 140s and then we shall be into race 2 of the round. For this one though, the Mini GP 140s, Ash Barnes starts on pole position with Rossi Brown alongside Zach Shelton, and Harry Cook will make up the second row of the grid. Fred McMullen, will start 5th on the grid with Jack Worth alongside him. Then it will be Blake Ward-Clark and Joe Woodward on the 4th row of the grid, with Oshan Thomas and Charlotte Marcuzzo rounding out the top 10. And then in 11th place, unable to set a time in qualifying, but he's here when it counts, that's what I would say. Because the race is the one you all want to be in, is Ted Wilkinson.
If he wins the race, who cares about qualifying?
Absolutely. Points are in the race, mate. Still an amazing day here at Whilton Mill. Lovely to still see so many people out and about enjoying the action. As, I'm seeing some sand. So does that mean that there was some fluid that went down there in the final corner? If there is, you definitely don't want to leave that untreated.
Yes, on the exit there can be slippery regardless of any fluid down on the surface.
Yeah, absolutely.
That concrete runoff area there, not the most forgiving. There used to be a big pile of bark chip-ins and mud and various other things on the exit of that corner. For anyone going wide there, back in the day, might remember digging themselves out of a big pile of God knows what. I myself fell victim to it once upon a time. They have thankfully since replaced the big pile of rubbish with a bit of runoff area.
So, this is the IMR Racing UK Mini GP 140 class. Riders aged between 9 and 15 years of age. Currently leading the standings in this class is our pole sitter Ash Barnes. He had a win at Teesside. Zach Shelton, who starts 3rd on the grid for this race, won the 2nd race in this class at Teesside. And then at Tattershall, Ash Barnes took home the spoils in both of the races. So, at the moment, all going Barnes' way. As we wait for the circuit to be verified as being okay for the riders to head out. Chloe Jones won this class in 2017. Now moved on to another class. In fact, we saw her just racing, in fact, in the Super Mini Ultimates. Shout out to Mr. Mather, who's
Says hello to you, he doesn't say hello to me.
he does say hello to you.
Does? In a different comment,
I'll put that comment up in a moment.
An afterthought.
No. He's got us both in and said we should have a good afternoon.
Next time I want to be first.
Fair enough. Next time he might be you might be able to tell him that yourself.
Yeah.
He's doing bike's coming out. So we shut all of the ventilation. We're having to ventilate the comms box after each race here. Such is the heat. But yes, Mr. Mather, who provided commentary for round 1 of the championship at Teesside, and is the other half of the Double Dash Motorsport Media duo, of which I am a proud representative. Jacob, you're an honorary member.
My own man, really. I do what I like.
Fair enough. So, just to remind you of the grid, so we did it a little while ago now. Ash Barnes on pole, Rossi Brown 2nd, Zach Shelton, only other rider to have won in this class so far this year, other than Ash Barnes, is in 3rd. 4th, Harry Cook. Fred McMullen 5th. 6th, Jack Worth. Blake Ward-Clark starts 7th. 8th will be Joe Woodward. Oshan Thomas will start 9th. Charlotte Marcuzzo will start 10th, and then rounding out the 11th bike grid will be Ted Wilkinson. There is number 5, that's Fred McMullen. Trying to go around one more lap, not quite ready yet to form up the grid. Riders getting the practice laps in. One rider choosing to get in an extra lap, so there might be a slightly longer time getting the grid formed up. Ash Barnes, though, already into his grid slot.
Yes, so first place gets the inside line for the first corner left-hander. That'll be to the left of your screen, as it's shown right now in that multicoloured helmet. We have Ash Barnes. To the right of him, Rossi Brown in the sky blue and lime green.
Yep, and don't be confused, folks. Ash Barnes is number 08, Rossi Brown is number 8. Just to be clear. So don't be confused by that.
Also don't be confused by Zach Shelton in third place, having similar colours to Rossi Brown. Zach Shelton's helmet is more of a black and green affair, whereas Rossi Brown's is more of a green and black affair.
we'll cover it as you'll get the idea. So we are formed up now, the 11 bikes for race 1 of round 3 here in the IMR Racing UK Mini GP 140s.
Barnes, Brown, Shelton and Cook, 4 very good riders, not to mention the red bike, number 5 Fred McMullen in behind, and Jack Worth in 6th place as well. This promises to be another great race.
Eyes on the flag, engine notes will rise, and away they go, and it's a good start for Barnes. But
the front 3 maintain position.
I was going to say, very good. I was going to say Shelton had a little challenge of Brown into turn 1 there, but Brown was able to hold on. That's why I hesitated, because I thought it was going to change, but it's as they were going through there. Great start, though, from Ash Barnes. And then Brown and Shelton. Now you get what we mean. Brown has slightly more yellow, fluorescent yellow.
I'm going for green.
And Shelton, okay. Shelton has more black. There they are, though. Strong second and third at the moment for those two. Jack Worth, I believe, may have got past Harry Cook. That's
now as they
fourth.
Come through lap
yeah.
number 1.
Either way, though, the top 3 have really pulled away there on the first lap. So it is Ash Barnes, Rossi Brown, Zach Shelton. Jack Worth has got 4th. Harry Cook, and it's Fred McMullen, Joe Woodward, and Ocean Thomas. Only 8 bikes registering across the line, though, there's more than 8 out there. So I think we may be falling foul of some of the transponder issues we had earlier, but one thing we can say for certain is that Ash Barnes is still at the head of this field. Rossi Brown is still second, and Zach Shelton is still third.
There are 9.
Okay. We had 11 listed as the grid.
Yes, out in front, Ash Barnes maintains a pretty decent lead from Rossi Brown. Zach Shelton follows in third. The battle for 4th and 5th between Jack Worth and Harry Cook looks to be one to watch. They go up to Christmas Corner now.
Yep.
2 bike lengths at most between the pair of them.
Yeah, and the closest battle at the moment on the track, though, is the battle for 4th. Jack Worth, there it is. Jack Worth and Harry Cook working their way through Inkermans. Worth in the number 5, Cook in the number 25, and Cook's got great drive through the oh, it all went a little bit pear-shaped there for Jack Worth, and Harry Cook sees the opportunity, so Cook up to 4th place, and now Worth has to worry about Fred McMullen. As they come across the line. Again, don't be confused. And there's the replay of it. You can see all out of shape there for Jack Worth. And now Worth in the on the 5 needs to worry about McMullen on the 0.5. So that's another example of that. As as we're watching Rossi Brown in second place, scything his way through some of the traffic, but he's not doing enough at the moment to keep on the same level as Ash Barnes pace-wise. Barnes just set the fastest lap of the race, 44.620, and he crosses the line once more. Not quite as fast this time, but he's still got some impressive pace. 4.9 seconds the gap. Rossi Brown still second, Zach Shelton third, Harry Cook fourth, Jack Worth in fifth, Fred McMullen is sixth.
There's Joe Woodward, fourth, fifth and sixth. Howard looking close, coming up to Christmas corner.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a dive up the inside, doesn't quite stick for our fifth place man, I believe, Jack Worth.
Yep, so Worth has recovered from the moment in the Zulus, and he's getting back onto the back of Cook, and he's taking McMullen with him. So as you say, Jacob, this is becoming a three-bike battle for fourth place, and it's the closest battle on track at the moment.
There they are going into the boot, as shown on screen. Not as close as they have been, but keep watching this one.
Oh, and what's happened at the lead of this? Because timing's showing a change for the lead. Forgive us if we treat that with a bit of scepticism. No, I can still see Ash Barnes there. He's working his way through Zulus. So I'm going to say ignore that for the time being. Yeah, he's definitely still out there.
Brown and Shelton.
Yep, agreed. So
fourth place man, Harry Cook has worked himself a bit of a gap this time round.
Yes, he has. That's, so to be clear, that's Shelton, who we just saw on the screen, and then here's the battle over fourth between Cook, Worth and McMullen. McMullen closer to the back of Jack Worth. There we are, timing's come to Ash Barnes back to the head of the field on timing. He's still comfortably out there. So, onto a fresh lap they go. McMullen now quite close to the back of Jack Worth. It's the closest battle on track.
Heading up to Christmas corner.
Ash Barnes, we just saw briefly there, heading up to the traffic, and then that is Rossi Brown on the back straight. This flame design helmet. That's pretty cool, to be honest. Good coordinated ski there, like that.
Yep, Pike leathers and helmet,
all matching. Zach Shelton having a quiet one now in third place. He's just settled into a good rhythm, good pace. But then comes Harry Cook. Getting a bit more of a breathing space now, and it's still Worth and McMullen very close out there, even closer this time, in fact. As they come up the hill, you can see in the back of shot there. There is Shelton, as I say, having a fairly quiet race, but riding well.
Yeah, it's half a second between Worth and McMullen. They go into increments now. I believe that's the closest we're going to get to an overtaking. If Fred can make an effort on Jack somewhere through the boot. Let's have a look now. Out on the back straight they come. They're into shot now. Yep. It's Jack Worth leading the way. On the red bike is Fred McMullen. Less than half a second separated them on the last lap. Looks to be a similar gap coming through with 2 laps to go, or at least I think 2 laps to go. We'll let you know when we see the guy with the last lap.
Will indeed. Ash Barnes still setting impressive pace at the head of the field here. His last lap of 44.8. Really throwing the gauntlet down to the rest of the field here, and this time Cook, McMullen is very close to the back of Worth. Leaders continue to work their way through the traffic. It is as you were. Harry Cook now. Again, we have a timing issue, but Harry Cook is ahead of Jack Worth and Fred McMullen still. And he's been able to get a bit of a steal now, so Jack Worth has a bit of breathing space. There is Zach Shelton. Then on the black bike there, putting a lap on one of our back markers, that is...
As the back marker gets in the way of Jack Worth,
yeah,
coming to Christmas corner, and I think Jack Worth's managed to hold it from Fred McMullen. But no, up into Christmas corner, Fred makes a dive, but doesn't quite have the closing distance on Jack Worth. It's still very close between the pair of them, less than half a second in it. The race is showing as finished, but fear not, we've not yet seen the last lap board, so ignore that on your timing screens.
So here we go then. This is still Jack Worth ahead of Fred McMullen. They've been together now for several laps. McMullen will have had a chance to see where Worth is strong. And also perhaps where he's not, trying to build up to a finish. And there is a checkered flag waving now. So the end of the race has been called.
So we didn't see the last lap board. Apologies for that. The timing screen was right. Can't keep up with what it's doing today.
Indeed. So, I stand by what I was saying though. Great battle there between those two. Ash Barnes then takes the win. His 4th win of the season in the Mini GP 140 class, supported by IMR Racing UK. Rossi Brown finishes 2nd. Zach Shelton 3rd. Harry Cook finishes 4th. Jack Worth 5th. 6th is Fred McMullen. There's Joe Woodward and Ocean Thomas. Rounding out the results that we have there in timing for that class. That was a good race. Although there weren't so many bikes on track, I think we saw some really good riding. We saw some really good battles.
Yes, and before they even reach the pit lane, out goes our Parker Racing Stock 140 Group 2.
So it's really good to see that as we come towards the end of the day, people are going out there and just having some fun. That's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, that last race was anyone's bet as to who was going to win from start to finish, and that's just what we want to see here in the comms box.
Absolutely. And this one might be quite similar. Ash Barnes starts on pole for race 2 of the Mini GP 140s class, supported by IMR Racing UK. Rossi Brown starts alongside him. Zach Shelton is 3rd. Harry Cook is 4th. Fred McMullen 5th. Jack Worth 6th. Blake Ward-Clark starts 7th. 8th is Joe Woodward. Ocean Thomas starts 9th. Then it's Charlotte Makutso in 10th. And Ted Wilkinson rounding out the 11 bike grid. Earlier on, this class provided a large amount of entertainment, as I recall. So,
not least because of the very similar get-ups of Rossi and Zach.
Indeed. And Zach Shelton, we've already been talking about today as one of our race winners. But how's he going to get on in this class? This class is, so far this year, more the domain of Ash Barnes. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. These are the riders aged between 9 and 15. There you go. I order my notes in the order of the races, honest. Flags in the air. Engine notes rise. And we're away. It's a good start from Ash Barnes, but if anything, it's an even better start from Zach Shelton. That was great stuff from the second row of the grid, and he's followed Ash Barnes through up the hill. But look out for Rossi Brown, now in 3rd. Now he's going to hold station. So Zach Shelton up to 2nd place. Is he going to be able to hold on to Ash Barnes and challenge him into Inkermans? Not this time. Well, he is able to hold on. Clearly pushing very hard as Shelton there. You can see how much he's leaning into it. He's got Rossi Brown for support immediately behind him. Then, I believe it's Jack Worth has held on to, indeed he has, in the number 5 there. And then there is Fred McMullen, who looks to have got past Harry Cook. Ash Barnes is who leads then. Zach Shelton 2nd. Rossi Brown is 3rd. Jack Worth is 4th. Then it's Fred McMullen.
Although a challenge for that position up to Christmas, although it hasn't quite come off.
Yeah.
5th place.
So it's Fred McMullen with Harry Cook.
We'll keep an eye on those two as they come through increments.
Yeah, that's an error on the timing screen. You can see to your left, McMullen is definitely just ahead of Jack Worth. And then it's Blake Ward-Clark, Joe Woodward, Ocean Thomas, and Charlotte Makutso. This is the battle between, if you needed any more proof that he's definitely out there, this is the battle between Fred McMullen and Jack Worth. No, sorry, Harry Cook, excuse me, over 5th place.
Let's see how they come out of oblivion and up the hill. Once again, better run, and yes, a switch of position.
Yeah, that so Worth is past, excuse me, Harry Cook is past Fred McMullen as timing finds his transponder.
Yes.
So good battle there. This is a battle resumed, isn't it, from the previous race in this class that we saw today?
I believe so.
So these two know what it's like to race against each other already. Ash Barnes leads this one. I believe, though, Rossi Brown, in fact, yes, there has been a switch. Rossi Brown has got past Zach Shelton. So change of position for second whilst we were watching the battle over fifth. So it's Ash Barnes now, Rossi Brown, Zach Shelton, Jack Worth.
Jack Worth looks to be close to Zach Shelton as well. We'll have to keep an eye on those two.
Yeah.
Going up to Christmas Corner now. There's not much between them.
Nope.
In fact, less than a second as they crossed the line last time round. Coming through the Zulus now, the pair of them. Battle behind them between Harry Cook and Fred McMillan seems to have died down a bit. Harry found himself a little bit of space.
Yep, absolutely. Halfway through this one then. Ash Barnes has a gap of 5 seconds, fastest lap of 44.705, there he is. In control of this one by quite a bit. Then there's Rossi Brown.
Battle for me, Howard, is 6th and 7th. Sorry, 7th and 8th. Blake Ward-Clark and Joe Woodward. They are less than half a second apart. Closest pair out on track, heading up to Christmas Corner right now. Blake has been there from the start, but Joe Woodward is keeping them very honest as they head through increments now into the Zulus.
Yep, absolutely. Zach Shelton on screen, really pushing hard here. Oh, just adjusting something there by the looks of it.
No movement on the Jack Worth and Zach Shelton situation. Zach has pushed that back out to 1.8 seconds. Jack keeping with him, but not looking to endanger that third position anytime soon.
Shout out to perhaps some of the less experienced riders in this class. We saw Ocean Thomas being overtaken last lap, but he's riding well. Everyone's in this class is riding well, even those who may be out there getting experience and not necessarily running at the front on this day in history. You know, they're all riding really well. They're not doing anything. You know, when leaders are coming up to overtake them, they're not doing anything surprising or unexpected. So I think this class in general should be commended for riding really, really well today. We're very impressed by the conduct as a whole of this paddock, but in particular the younger riders today I think have been very good. I think it's testament to the environment set up in this paddock as to how well all of the riders race across the age ranges. Here though, we've got 2 laps to go.
Coming up to Christmas Corner, Howard, Joe Woodward having a look at Blake Ward-Clark. Not close enough quite yet to make a move, but there is 2 bike lengths between the pair of them. They're going through increments now.
Yep, picking them up now on the stream. Although we cut back, we cut back to the 5 and the 25. This is Jack Worth and Harry Cook, who are still battling out there, with Fred McMullen behind them.
Right now it's we were waiting for Blake to come through the picture. Instead, there we go. That's Blake Ward-Clark and Joe Woodward, and that is, I believe, Rossi Brown.
Yeah, we need to look at the front though, because Ash Barnes, we haven't spoken about him much, but that's just a testament to how dominant a victory it is. Takes the win in the IMR Racing UK Mini GP 140s. There is Rossi Brown. Good ride from him in second. There is Zach Shelton. I've already commented on his riding today. I've been very impressed by that. Jack Worth finishes 4th. Harry Cook 5th. Fred McMullen, there he is, will cross the line for 6th. Then we believe it will be Blake Ward-Clark and Joe Woodward. Charlotte Marcuzzo has already crossed the line to classify 10th. Yeah, Blake Ward-Clark does indeed finish 7th, with Joe Woodward 8th and Ocean Thomas finishing 9th. Charlotte Marcuzzo in 10th. I know that maybe, you know, the leader there pulled away and, you know, Glasgow. But I found that a very entertaining race. We had some good battling in the midfield. All of the riders were clearly pushing hard. I was very impressed by that. That was great stuff.
Yeah, we've said it several times today, but we can say it several more. All of our young riders here today show great talent. It's really is refreshing to see such young